Have you been to California, seen the sights and people there?
Hi, I'm Michael.
And I'm Grace.
And we are California Travel Videos. In today's show, we will be visiting the awesome Acadia National Park. And if you agree that bad decisions sometimes make good stories, then stay tuned and you'll be much the wiser on your day hikes following behind us.
But first, we wanted to take just a moment to thank our new subscribers and getting close to 500 followers.
Woo! Well, we love that.
Happy dance.
I'll say. Yes, and without all of you, we wouldn't be here. So thank you for the follows, the likes, and all of your comments and shares too.
Definitely so. So let's go ahead and take a closer look now at Acadia.
Let's do it.
As you can see on the map, Acadia is actually an island that sits near the Canadian border. Acadia has a rich history as a popular tourist destination. However, it wasn't until 1919 that Acadia was officially classified as a national park by President Woodrow Wilson.
Acadia was originally settled by the French colonists known as, you guessed it, the Acadians. They called it, well, the French called it something like l'Acadie. I'm not so sure about my French on that, which was believed to have come from the native Mi'kmaq word meaning, what?
Mi'kmaq.
Mi'kmaq. Okay. Anyway, their word meant the land of plenty. Well, at least it was for the local indigenous tribes. And who are we to argue with their 10,000 years of thriving in the Atlantic Northeast?
And we promise to dig deep into Acadia's fascinating history in our next video. But in today's video, we are going to see just how much we are willing to trust the journey.
Trust the journey.
Trust the journey.
Very noble, grasshopper.
Grasshopper.
So we set off early in the morning using the buses provided by the National Park Service and the scenic 27-mile loop trail, which only goes around the island one way, so you don't have to worry about that. Just hop aboard the bus. They have the regularly scheduled stops every few miles at specific locations, and some of the featured stops in the park include campgrounds, carriage roads, numerous trailhead stops for the hiker buffs. And as we'll talk about our next show, for bikers also. Better yet, you can also flag down the buses along the route. So the drivers will pick you up at somewhere where it's safe to stop.
I don't think we had a specific plan other than taking a hike.
Now approaching Sand Beach. This is the stop for the Ocean Path Trail.
So when we heard beach and trail combined at the same stop, we were ready for our adventure. How long is the Ocean Path Trail?
As long as you want it to be. It goes on for quite a distance, as far as you want to walk.
We found ourselves at the entrance of the Great Head Trail.
The Great Head Trail. Ah, I remember it well.
I do too.
And so we decided we would indeed get off at Sand Beach. Great Head Trail. Grace, are you ready to continue onward on the journey past the Sand Beach?
Well, I'm hoping, because the bus driver did say we could walk as far as up to 3 stops. So I'm just hoping this is the right walk, because it's a mile uphill to the first of the 3.
Yeah, but he said you could walk as long as you want also. So, you know, TBD. We'll get back to it. There are several trails in Acadia National Park, and quite a few of them actually, of different levels of difficulty. Notably, the trailhead hike was set to be moderate. But having been on some of the Acadia hikes 10 years ago when I was on a cruise ship stop, I wondered if that level of difficulty was re-rated by the Native Americans.
Yeah, who does decide on how these get rated?
I don't know. Well, let's go ahead and let our viewers decide.
Okay.
So Grace is wondering about if we're on the right trail. She's never been a Boy Scout, and I smarted off about being a Boy Scout. So, oh yeah, this is the trail. Oh sure. Sort of. Just don't want to fall over the edge there. Yes, here's the Boy Scout. I kind of like this scenic route here. Show off. Okay, but it says, oh, look over here. It says restoration area. I'm not so sure you're supposed to be on that one, Girl Scout. I think this is the one I was at. You know, I was on the cruise ship, and they said it would be medium difficulty. And some of these boulders, it was like you're going through a riverbed with, you know, 3 or 4 foot high boulders. Yeah, just about like this. Okay. Well, it's obviously when they say no dogs and so on. I know Kaliki would love this trail, but yeah, you're basically going across rocks here. And here comes Hopalong. Yeah, you got your camera over your shoulder just if you need to have both hands. You're making great time now. You advanced 10 feet.
There's no step. There's no stair here.
Oh boy. Come on.
How am I going to get... I can't. Wait.
Go ahead, you go first. As we get to the top of the hill here, I think, Grace is feeling pretty perky. How are you doing, baby?
Conquered the mountain.
You did.
I will be your moon.
But I was scared.
You will be my sky.
And Michael has my backpack now, so he can carry the 5 pounds worth of glass.
I think another 5 for the camera and the glass on the camera too. But yeah, let's do it.
Go ahead.
Giddy up.
Lead the way. Can I have a piggyback ride?
Sure. All you gotta do is catch me. And I tell you, we just have more spectacular views along here. Man, if you can take the hiking, this is the place to be. We're here coming around to another point. Huh. It is awesome, and it just goes forever. On the Grape Head Trail. I'm guessing that means we are at the apex, the peak, the top. You are the head honcho. So you said you're not going to have to worry about using restrooms, is that you're sweating it all out, huh?
And I'm going to have ice cream.
There's no ice cream along here, no basket. Gentlemen, she's hallucinating.
I am not hallucinating. Ice cream. In Bahaba.
In Bahaba. She walks through the bridge with the greatest of ease.
Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my!
Intuitively obvious to the most casual observer that this is the main road.
Yeah, you're right.
What? She said I'm right. I think that's the first time in 8 years of being together I've been right. Oh.
That's not true. It's the second time.
Oh, when was the first time?
The second. I don't remember the first time.
It's the moment of truth. We're coming up to a trail sign. I don't know if we're on the Great Trail or not. No more blue markers. What does it say?
Car.
A car. Well, that's a good sign. Yes. Yeah.
Sand Beach that
Great
way.
Head.
Sand Beach.
And Sand Beach that way. Yeah.
So basically, we could have been walking on this path all the way to Sand Beach.
Uh-oh. But we wanted to...
when I said?
Yeah, but you wanted camera gear to go the scenic trail, did you not?
So I'm just hoping this is the right walk, because it's a mile uphill to the first of the 3.
I was wrong. Uh-oh. I better run out here while I can. She's on my trail.
I once thought it was the end when I was my only friend.
So Michael, What is the moral of the story?
Oh, yes. Stories. They need morals or morale. But at any rate, well, when all else fails, refer to rule number 1.
Ooh, no. Not your spouse is always right. But that is a good one. I was thinking more along the lines of trusting your journey. I mean, the reality is, had I known ahead of time how challenging that path was, I probably would not have done it because I would have let my height phobias get the better of me.
So now that you did it, let me ask you, what would you have done differently?
I would have had more slip-resistant hiking boots.
Okay, I can go for that.
How about you?
Yeah, how about me? Well, I relate back to the Old Testament, the good old days when Moses walked through the desert for several generations, 40 years plus.
The man who walked with kings now walks alone, torn from the pinnacle of royal power.
Never once asked for directions, and so, I just was a good trooper. I just kept moving along, doing my thing, and figured that there's 2 types of people: those who follow trails and those who make trails.
Okay.
Seriously, though, photographer critic Nancy Newell said it best: conservation is the humanity caring for the future.
Oh, that's nice. And we are so glad that our forefathers did do these wonderful things for us. What could even be better than the hope that someday our children or our children's children get to visit these iconic places? That would be incredible.
Someday. And while we don't often think of ourselves as children of our forefathers, on our next show we will be taking an in-depth look at the history of Acadia, Maine. And you know what that means, right? Yes, be sure to subscribe, hit that follow button, and we'll take you along the beautiful Jordan Pond, I think it's more like a Jordan Lake, to enjoy an e-bike ride along some of the famous carriage roads that were hand-built by John D. Rockefeller Jr. Well, I don't know if he hand-built himself, but he had people hand-built them out of the local stones in the quarries.
Well, we look forward to sharing that with you. But until then,
Happy trails to you.
Bye-bye.
Peace out. Bye for now.
Have you been to California? Seen the sights and people there? Walked the streets of sleepy sea towns? Tasted salty ocean?